Hello and welcome to Stocks Down Under. My name is Stuart Roberts and I'm one of the co-founders of our publication. And joining me today from Perth on Tuesday, the 22nd of March, 2022 is Peter Malone, who's the Executive Chairman of Skin Elements, ASX SKN. Peter, good morning.
Good morning, Stuart. How you going, mate?
Very well. Peter, you've just achieved a major breakthrough in the global fight against COVID. You have the world's only approved disinfection product that can bring about a 7-log reduction in virus on treated surfaces. How did you and your colleagues achieve that with SuperCuvr?
Look, Stuart, you should probably realise it wasn't just developed over the COVID period. The depth of research to do this was significant. 15-year research and development program in the biotech space. Three of us have been working on this for over a decade, particularly on how to preserve organic ingredients and then, of course, deal with the actual aspects of the virus. When we saw it hit the street in early 2020, it's been a $30 million R&D project. We're very, very deep. Our scientific skill in this space is probably better than most globally. You can imagine one of the big biotech companies putting just $30 million into one little project on the desk and then coming back after 15 years. There would probably be some good findings coming out of that research. And of course, we lucked in with as we want to, it's not an ideal thing for the world to have a viral outbreak, particularly global, but we lucked in, of course, with that coming forward. The product was ready. And of course, as I say, this product here, the first natural, organic, plant-based disinfectant that'll kill the virus, and didn't just kill the virus, as you stated. It got a log 7 reduction score, which is in fact an extension of the score used to finish at log 6 reduction. It had to be extended by a factor of 10 to score our product, and of course that gave it a score of about 1,000 times more powerful, as it says on the bottle, than most other products sitting on the street in supermarkets in the world.
Now, in the research report that we at Pitt Street Research have just published, we talk about how the world of cosmetics has trended in a big way towards products that are natural and organic. And with SuperCovr, you're picking up on that trend. That puts you potentially in the same league as companies like BWX, for example. Talk to us why consumers are looking for a product like SuperCovr in terms of what's in it.
I think basically the safety it brings with the efficacy of the product. You get a better and a stronger product that does the job it's supposed to do, which in this case is to kill viral issues on desks, chairs, tables in the air. And parallel with that, you get a safe product, awfully safe, that is plant-based and an organic product specification that the body can cope with. So sprayed around, a good example is if I spray this just here, I can obviously spray it on my hands. It cleans and keeps them free from the virus. So I can spray it around my body because it's organic and it doesn't have any effect on the body. And it's the game changer. It just gives us what we've always thought. I mean, at the end of the day, people look for better and better products as the generations go through. And this is the new generation where technology is coming to the fore. You'll see that across the globe. There's things being produced today that were never considered. I mean, this whole aspect of even technology itself. You know, imagine walking around with a mobile phone in your hand in 1975. You might be, you'd be someone weird. How do you get a call to a mobile phone? Now we take it for granted. How do we get a plant-based disinfectant that will kill a virus? Well, nothing actually was killing the virus till now, because every disinfectant built was designed to kill bacteria at a period when we didn't have a virus. So if you got to the end of the day, the whole change happened when the virus outbreak happened. The array of product on global markets was geared around killing bacteria, and they had to morph up and try and do the job of killing viruses. So you had things like deep cleans happening with bacteria killers.
Well, yeah, exactly the wrong product you needed at that time.
Exactly. And just to give you the switch, the way I see it is we're living in a world which is conscious consumerism. In the old days, before 2000,
yeah, I remember those times.
you took what was on the table offered on the shop and you didn't question it. Now you'll go into papers in Sydney and places and walk around and see people looking at things on the shop and reading labels, and then putting them back on the shelf. And you say to them, "What was wrong with that?" "I didn't like the ingredients, or didn't have the right specification, or it's not good for the planet."
Right. Now, one thing that you're going to have to build is the distribution engine for SuperCuvr. You're not recommend Keezer or SC Johnson or any of these other well-known brands, but you've started the process of building distribution. Tell us about the recent distribution you did for the Australian market and what potentially is coming for other markets.
Yes, you did right. Distribution is the key here. We've got the world's best product, no question. TJ's confirmed that. Globally, it's been confirmed. But you're right, distribution is the key. And we moved quickly. I and a couple of the other directors took the opportunity to move quickly and appoint an Australian distributor first, and we also gave them the rights to New Zealand, exclusive. And they today are just about to launch a marketing campaign, and that'll be on TV and radio across Australia. And that campaign will explain what SuperCovr is about and go and get yourself some SuperCovr. The good news is it's already been rolled out to just under 200 stores, Metcash IGA stores in Western Australia. And there's been a run on those stores for the SuperCovr already, I've noticed. So, I've got a text the other day by a couple of people said, "Look, where do we get it?" IGAs. And they've raced out and got it and got trolleys full of you suddenly need the product you didn't have to cover their. We're going through what the rest of Australia went through a couple of months ago, which is every second person's here getting a COVID. And it's Omicron's variant, and it seemed to be quickly brought under control, but keeping places clean is the key to it. And this is where the product goes. So we don't have the channels to market like the big J&Js or the big pharmaceutical companies. The global market's there for us, but things are happening quickly. We've just got a group out of New Zealand, which we're talking to at the moment, and they're looking to do something significant in New Zealand market in some of the other sectors. We've got things happening in the US and things happening in the UK, which are discussions which are escalated. And, at the end of the day, we move as quickly as we can on a new product. But the idea is to lock down Australia and New Zealand into a safe category and get that market fixed, because at the moment it's not an unsafe place to live. It's just unsafe for the virus, and we want to make that area safe. People feel comfortable.
One of the things we drew out in our research report, and this was striking to me, is the way habits have changed as a result of this pandemic. We never used to worry too much about whether surfaces had been cleaned or so that they could be free of viruses. Nowadays, we're washing our hands. We have been wearing masks, and we're getting used to cleaning surfaces again. For example, those habits are not going to change back to what the good old days in a hurry. So you've got a tailwind behind you in terms of people who just know to use products like yours.
Oh, absolutely correct. I mean, the biggest key is that people do want to keep the area they're working in safe from other viral outbreaks caused by third parties. And that's where it's coming from. So the only way you can bring that on effectively is to ensure you've got a product on the desk that you can actually, like I say, you pick it up, you spray it around you, and you've got 4 hours cover. Now, that's the type of security you didn't have yesterday. So if you want to sit there comfortably and work and someone across the desk is not looking too special, you think you're pretty safe compared to where you would have been without it. That also looks at where we sit. What does this mean in terms of this product? It didn't exist. Well, it did exist in another form. It exists in a chemical disinfectant, highly toxic to the body, very difficult to use other than cleaning companies after dark. Cleaning officers wouldn't be habitated for another 4 or 5 hours in the morning. The crux of this is you talk about global changes. The biggest change we've seen in recent times is probably the transportation, the car industry, where we lived on petrol. We sort of live on it at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a very different market opportunity going forward. If you look down the barrel of that future, where the early days of the electric car and the Tesla program. And now it's the largest car company in the world. It produced over 1 million cars last year from a stony scratch. It's been in the last 20 years from an idea to reality to the biggest car company. And I think we're going to see many, many technologies created in the next 10 to 15 years, which are going to completely change the way we do things and think, how we undertake our lives. And one of those is SuperCovr. And this is sort of the pandemic solution. There'll be other solutions and other type of market opportunities.
Well, talk to us about that. What's next in terms of the Skin Elements pipeline?
Look, I think in reality, our broad-based research has been into ingredients that be used safely by humans. And we have done a lot of research in that 15-year period, which has spun out a number of various different products. And they've been test marketed and looked at. And so at the end of the day, I think we're going to find that there's going to be a breakout of skincare product. And the biggest one, I think, parallel with what we're doing is this sunscreen market. It's been elevated today to almost the highest growth market going forward. And I think that's going to be evident in what we're seeing coming forward too as well. So our product range is going to give us the opportunity to probably bring that into a global market proposition very quickly. The benefit of a radiation block is obviously very clear to everybody in this current period. Radiation on the skin is one of the biggest issues facing people globally. It's not colour of skin. It's not saved by the part of the world you live in. It's not a product you can dodge the effects of. And therefore, sunscreens are going to have to be more effective at doing this with the comfort of the body in care. And that's not the case with our historic sunscreen products. They weren't there to help the body. They were there to do a good job at trying to block radiation and some of the radiation bands. So there it goes again. We now know what we've got to cover. It's UVA and UVB in complete form. UVC we don't need to worry about. That's out in space. If we do see Musk and his team head out to Mars, they might have a different sunscreen. But at the end of the day, it's where skin's going to be. These new skin products, and really we see SuperCovr as first of those skin products. I mean, like I say, this is a skin product. I've just got cover now for 4 hours. Whatever I touch, my hand's still sterile.
Right. Skin Elements was suspended for a lot of 2021 while you raised the capital in order to complete the SuperCovr program. You're now back up and running. In terms of what we can look forward to, there'll be obviously new distribution arrangements for the original product, some more R&D, and I guess a reasonably rising sales curve as well.
Yeah, correct. I mean, the program's really just started for us. We've only just completed our first manufacturing block of product, which is through the distributor. That was in excess of $1 million worth of product made last month. We're now getting forward to developing our next program, which is the next block of manufacturing for them. We've got a meeting today at 12 o'clock to go forward with that, and that's sort of pictured around the advertising that's going to come through and the marketing efforts on global markets for us going forward. So in some ways, the size of the opportunity is enormous. There's no question. It's a disinfectant market that was struggling to be 20 billion. And now they're talking about in the next couple of years, it's going to be past 50. And a couple of years after that, it'll be $100 and something billion. And we sit at the forefront of one of the few products that can take advantage of that business growth. And that's a business growth just in a very narrow sector where we've built SuperCovr for. We jump out of that sector and we jump into the global market for organic skincare product. We're talking multiples of those sectors across a range of countries. So it's definitely a growth phased market. What we're doing is tip. Now, the corollary to that is, where are we? And we sit in Perth. We're almost unknown. We were an invisible lab for 20 years almost. We come out with a significant spend, and people are coming to grips with where we are and what we're doing and how we did it. Give us 6 months, that the world will start to have a different picture on us. We get product out. We get a little bit noisier in the street because of that visibility. We get some of the funds that suddenly tip to us and say, well, we think we should have a bit of a position. It's the Tesla position before it becomes Tesla the business. It's Tesla the research concept. We're a bit further than that. We're actually in the business phase now. And I think it does deliver us the ability to go away from our research investors and bring on the mainstream investors. And really that's the switch over that I think the ASX gives us.
Great. Well, it's going to be a great 2022. Well done on what you and your colleagues have achieved. It's been a great achievement from where we were prior to the pandemic. And here's to the next stage of the journey going forward.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, Stuart.